Good morning to you on this middle of the week day, Wednesday, January the 28th, today. And our devotion for today is entitled Why Justice Matters. Sounds like a very timely one, doesn't it? The quote, the scripture passage that Tim Keller has for us here is Luke chapter 4, verses 17 through 19. It's Jesus in his synagogue at home, and he's been handed the scroll of Isaiah, and he reads from that passage there. The scroll of the prophet Isaiah was handed to him. Unrolling it, he found the place where it is written, "The Spirit of the Lord is on me, because he has anointed me to proclaim good news to the poor. He has sent me to proclaim freedom for the prisoners and recovery of sight for the blind, to set the oppressed free, to proclaim the year of the Lord's favor." And I'm pretty sure a lot of people speculate we're talking about the year of Jubilee there, where after every 50 years, all debts are canceled. All property that was sold over to others comes back to the family that sold it. These are the words Jesus read in the synagogue in Nazareth when he announced the beginning of his ministry. He identified himself as the servant of the Lord, prophesied by Isaiah, who would, quote, bring justice to the world, Isaiah 42, 1 through 7. Most people know that Jesus came to bring forgiveness and grace. Less well known is the biblical teaching that a true experience of the grace of Jesus Christ inevitably motivates a man or woman to seek justice in the world. There is a direct relationship between a person's grasp and experience of God's grace and his or her heart for justice and the poor. As I preached the classic message that God does not give us justice but saves us by free grace, I discovered that those most affected by the message became the most sensitive to the social inequities around them. One man in my church went through a profound transformation. He moved out of a sterile, moralistic understanding of life and began to understand that his salvation was based on the free, unmerited grace of Jesus. It gave him a new warmth, joy, and confidence that everyone could see. But it had another surprising effect. You know, he said to me one day, I've been a racist all my life. I was startled because I had not yet preached to him or to the congregation on that subject. He had put it together for himself. And when he lost his Phariseeism, his spiritual self righteousness, he said he lost his racism. Wow, that's an interesting little story there that Tim Keller gives to us. I think for most people who go to church, and maybe I could be wrong here, I think to let other people know that you're a racist in the church, that's not going to go over well. You're going to be judged, I'm sure, by others around you, people who understand what it means to be connected to Christ and the fact that he came for the poor and that it is about justice, not as in condemning justice, but as in fair and balanced justice. One of my favorite Bible verses is Micah 6:8. He has told you, O man, what is required of you to do justice, love mercy, walk humbly with your God. Jesus himself reads this passage. He has sent me to proclaim freedom for the prisoners, recovery of sight to the blind, to set the oppressed free, to proclaim the year of the Lord's favor. He was all about justice, and that people who needed to have it, who weren't getting it, would get it under his reign, under his leading. We're not seeing a lot of that these days. And I'm not going to get political here, don't worry. But when you see unarmed people being shot, when you see somebody who's tried to help a woman who's been pushed down by two or three armed men, and he's just trying to help her get up, he's asking her if she's okay, and two people pull out guns and they both shoot him just because they wanted to, I guess. That's not justice. That's not justice. Hopefully, we can get that one figured out. It's a sad situation when there's no justice. And many, many countries over the years have eliminated justice for people, especially people that they don't like. Justice matters. It does matter. And we, as followers of Jesus, we need to see that clearly. We need, as he said here in one section, I discovered that those most affected by the message became the most sensitive to the social inequities around them. And that's key. Sometimes we bundle ourselves up and we just kind of remove ourselves. But what we need to do is to recognize how blessed we are, and how, because of who we are and where we're from and our skin color and all of those kinds of things, that we're getting a fair deal, while all around us many don't. Justice matters. God's all for it. And we need to be the ones who promote that justice, for liberty and justice for all, right? That's got to be a reality, or we might as well just not even think it or say it. Blessings to you today, and let's care for those around us who don't seem to get the same deal that we get in our country and in our lives. Blessings to you today on this Wednesday.